you clicked on this video, I have the feeling that you and me, we have something in common. We both love drugstore products. So if you're a baddie on a budget, but you still want to cake your face like a pro, then this video is for you. Let's get into it. First off, we're gonna prime the face, and I am going to use a Maybelline Creepy Serum Primer. It says that it's a 24-hour wear, and this will hold your makeup for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna apply it on my fingers and all over my face. And then I'm gonna tap it into the skin. I'm also giving my face a lymphatic massage at the same time, I feel like. If you're like, girl, do you have other primers? Because you use the same primer in every video. Yes, I do. But this one cannot beat anything else. This primer needs to soak into my skin for 5 minutes. So in the meantime, you can do something else. I'm probably going to vacuum my house. Okay, we're back. I am going to fill up my brows first, and I am going to use a NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Taupe. I used this brow pencil for the first time a few years ago, and I didn't rebuy it again, but now I bought it again. I fell in love with it a second time. It's really good and it matches my brow color perfectly. So I am going to fill in the empty spaces in my brows. Always go over the tail of the brow a little bit deeper than the rest of the brow, and then just a little bit in the front. And I will make like these mini strokes, I don't know, you get what I mean, so that everything looks very natural. Then I will use the spoolie side of the brow pencil, and I will brush every hair down and just go over it again. And then obviously I am going to brush out all of the excess brow products. This looks absolutely crazy right now. Yeah. Next up, I am going to carve out my brows already with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in color 3. I'm going to use this very flat brush for it. I will go in with my brush like this. Then I will very carefully go under my brow with the concealer. Is the cleanest brow look ever. I will place this concealer under my brows, but also above my brows. This feels like I'm drawing, but I cannot go over the lines. I've also put the concealer onto my eyelids, so I'm going to set this concealer with the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. This is a very light powder. This is absolutely a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder. This gives a very much 2016 brows. I promise you it won't look as crazy anymore if all the rest of the foundation is on. I'm really going to press this powder into my eyelids. After this, we're going to leave the brows alone, but I am going to use a Maybelline Superlook Brow Glue just to set my brows. I am going to go over the brows very lightly because I don't want a great cast of the brow glue. I'm only touching the hairs, I'm not touching my skin, okay? This is very important. Brows are done. I don't like to do my brows. I think it's very boring, but it's very necessary because otherwise your makeup will not look complete. But they're on, so now the fun part can start. I am going to spot conceal as well, and I'm going to use the same Maybelline Fit Me concealer for that. I have some spots that I really want to cover. I feel like I get a new pimple every day. I don't know what is going on with my skin. I also have some general redness in my face because I went to the seaside and I got burned. So yeah, my face is just overall red, but we'll cover that. I am going to pat this into my skin very lightly. This doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to go over it with foundation anyway. As I said, this is not done perfectly, it's just to cover up the redness in my face. We will go over with it foundation right now. I'll be using my favorite foundation at the moment, and that's the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation, and I wear the color 126. I'm going to put 3 pumps onto my hand. 1, 2, 3. And I will be using this flat foundation brush and just put it onto my face. Girls, this foundation, oh my god, feels like a luxurious designer foundation, but it's very affordable. It has like the perfect glow and it's very full coverage. I am avoiding my under eyes to put foundation on it because we will conceal it anyway. And you just don't want to put too much product under your eyes because it will just cake up and look dry as hell. I will be using my Real Techniques sponge for this to blend this all out. I feel like this foundation works the best if you blend it out with a sponge, but you can do whatever. If you want to use a brush, use a brush. Do you see how smooth this blends out? I love this so much. Don't forget the skin under your nostrils, please. Also, take your time to blend everything out. I take 5 minutes to blend my foundation out. Yeah. This is especially important if you want a natural foundation look. I'm always putting a little bit extra of foundation on my nose area because this area just gets the most red of my face. I'm going to be a bit more precise around the brow area. So I am going to use this flat brush again just to blend the foundation into my skin. Okay, foundation is on. Next up is concealer, and I am going to use a Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Multi-Use Concealer in the color 00. As you can see, this is almost empty. I am going to see what I still get out of it. I'm gonna put this under my eyes. Like so. In the middle of my brows. Under my nose. Onto my chin. And under my cheekbones. Like this. And then I'm gonna blend this out with my concealer brush again. I love this concealer so much. It has a perfect coverage and it doesn't feel heavy. It feels moisturized. My under eyes are not going to be dry. I love this. I'm creating this triangle shape under my under eyes. And this just creates a natural lift. I also love to drag the concealer onto my nose so it creates a natural nose contour. Be careful between the brows. When the biggest part of my concealer is blended out, I like to go over it with my sponge again and just really tap it into my skin. So everything blends out and melts into my skin. For the concealer under my cheekbones, I love to drag this down as well. Don't drag it up because the contour will be gone. Drag it down. It also creates a natural contour, a natural lift. Okay, the base is on. I know there are a lot of steps. I know there are a lot of things to consider, but it will all pay off at the end of the video. We're gonna creamy contour next. I'm going to use a Catrice Sculpt and Charm contour stick in the color 20 Stone. Is this contour stick a thing or not? Because I've never seen anyone talk about this before on TikTok. It only costs €5 and it does the job really well. I will be placing this contour onto my cheekbones, on my forehead, onto my nose, and under my jawline as well. What I love about this contour stick is that it's so creamy. It blends out very well. And the color is just a very nice, very natural. Still, you feel like I have contour on. I'm always patting my contour into my skin. Honestly, so obsessed with this bronzer. I use it every day since I got it. And I used to use my Dior €50 contour stick. And now I use a €5 contour stick and it's amazing. That really shows that you do not need expensive products for makeup to look good. I look crazy right now with my nose contour not done. As for nose contour, I don't really know what I'm doing most of the times. Mostly, I'm just blending my nose contour into my nose until it looks good. I don't really have a technique for this, to be honest. I'm going to set my contour with the NYX Butter Melt Bronzer in the color Deserve Butter. Very lightly go into it with my brush, tap it off, and then pat it over the contour. These two are like the perfect contour match. I really love these two together. Also my neck, and I'm really going to drag it down. The forehead. I'm really just like wiping the product on my forehead. We will be setting everything with the NYX Wonder Snatch setting powder in the color Cheeky Cherry. It's really a pink bright setting powder. I love a bright under eye, so this is perfect. The only thing that I do not like about this product is the packaging. I took my powder puff and I lightly set it under my eyes, under my contour, and now I'm going to lightly set my forehead because we don't want to be a disco ball. It's so hot in here, you guys. I'm really sweating. I feel like I'm sweating my makeup off. Luckily, we already did the brows. I'm wiping off the excess setting powder. I would definitely pick this e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the color Suave Mauve if you want a very affordable but very pigmented blush. I'm only going to put 2 dots, okay, 3 dots onto my cheekbones. We can always add more, but I feel like it's not gonna be necessary. I also love the color name of the blush, Suave Mauve. It really gives me like a summer feeling, although it is summer already. As you can see, it's very pigmented, but it gives off this perfect pink purple color. I love this blush so much. Next, I am going to set the blush with a Morphe Blind Date blush. It's like a blush trio. I feel like Morphe is the perfect brand between drugstore and designer. I feel like it's not very affordable, but it's also not expensive. So it's kind of an in-between. So I am just going to use this. I will be using the last color of the blush trio. This is a powder blush. Powder blush is perfect to go over the liquid blush. My makeup is melting off my nose. I hope you cannot see it on camera, but I'm just gonna be honest, it's very hot in here and I am sweating. I feel like we used a lot of powders already, so I am going to set my face with the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Setting Spray. This MCO Beauty Setting Spray really reminds me of my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Even the smell is kind of the same, but I will say that you do need a lot of sprays to get like a very hydrated feeling. I'm gonna let this dry for a few seconds. Moving on to eyes, I will use the same bronzer and I will put it over my eyelid with the focus on my crease. Yeah, that's a lot of pigment. Ah, shit. So I am going to blend this all over my eyes, but I will be focusing a bit more on the crease to really get like this ombre color. I'll try to avoid the inner corner of my eye because I still want to have like a bright inner corner. For eyeshadow to look good, I feel like the trick is you just need to blend, blend, and blend. If you can't tell, I did focus the bronzer a little bit more on the crease. Now, I do love a little bit of glitter on top of my eyes, so I will be using the e.l.f. Fine as Fleck Glitter Eyeshadow in the color Certified Platinum. This is really pigmented. It's so pretty. Look at the shimmer. I will just be going into it with my finger and put it on top of all of the eyeshadow. You don't need a brush for this because the brush won't pick up the glitter. And I'm going to focus this on the top of my eyelid. It just gives so much brightness to your eyes. I love glitter. I'm also going to put some eyeliner on. I am going to use the NYX Epic Ink liner in the color Milk Chocolate. This is such a good drugstore eyeliner. It doesn't dry out at all. I am going to do this off camera because I really need to concentrate when I do my eyeliner. I applied my eyeliner. I applied my mascara. I used the Maybelline Bubble Colossal Mascara for this. It is waterproof. Otherwise, I feel like my lashes will fall down and I will get fallout of my mascara under my eyes. Thank God for waterproof mascara. It is a little bit harder to get off at the end of the day, but I feel like it's so worth it. I have like a blanket on my bed, but there is one space that doesn't have the blanket, and that's exactly where she's sleeping. I'm going to finish up the eyes with the NYX Jumbo Stick Eye Pencil. It's just like a white highlight eye pencil. It did fall on the ground, so now the tip is looking like this. I hope it still works. Oh shit. Oh my god. But I fixed it and now it looks like the perfect underbrow highlighter. Now moving on to my favorite part. This is lips. I will be using the Maybelline Lifter Liner in the color On It. It's really like the perfect nude brown lip shade. The lip liner itself is pretty creamy, so you do need to be careful and really concentrate when you put this on. I am going to put this right under my lip and above my lip just to create this overlined fake lip. People have asked me 2 times this week if I have lip filler in my lips, but I am just really good at overlining my lips. This really glides on like butter. I am going to create an ombre lip, so I will be using a lighter shade in the middle of my lips, and I will be using the NYX Loud Loud lip pencil in the color Leaf Legacy. This is a very pinky lip liner, and I will just fill in the spare areas. Final step of this lip combo is obviously a lip gloss, and I will be using the Kiko Lip Volume Plumping Effect Lip Cream in the color Tutu Rose. I love this lip gloss because it really leaves a very pinky color onto your lips, and it's also not too plumping, so if you do not like the tingly feeling in your lips, this is perfect. These are the finished lips. Look how glossy they look. There is only one thing left to do. Finally, fixing everything with a setting spray. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. Feels like hairspray for your makeup. It also smells like hairspray, but it will fix everything. Nothing will move. I'm thinking maybe I should use a second setting spray as well, just to give a little bit of extra glow. I almost forgot to mention, but I also used a little bit of the NYX Jumbo stick into my inner corners. Okay girls, we're at the end of the video, and this is the final result of the baddie on a budget makeup look. What do you girls think? Let me know in the comments below which product you will definitely buy from the drugstore after seeing this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I loved creating this video. This really goes to show that you do not need expensive products for your makeup to look good. I definitely feel like a drugstore baddie or a baddie on a budget, whatever you want to call it. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!